CA JPP connector video for jumper cables JPP and JMP. The following tools are necessary for this application. You want to use an Ideal Strip Master model 45-091 or model 45-092 wire strippers are equal. Today I'm going to be using a Southwire SA822 tool that has various gauges of wire settings to strip the wires. You need a small diagonal cutting tool. You need PermaPipe supplied cycling crimp tool with various dies. We use the .255 to crimp the outer ground and the .100 to crimp the inner conductor. You should also have a scale to measure your cuts. PermAlert provides a JPP connector kit which has 2 UHF connectors and a female connection barrel and a shrink sleeve to shrink over the entire assembly after the completion of the completed connector and testing of the connector. The following is the procedure. Taking your JPP cable and your Strip Master tool with the cutting inserts facing you, you want to bring the cable in from the back side approximately 1 5/8 inches. You want to keep the cable perpendicular in the tool when you do your stripping. Once you remove the jacket, you want to take your scale, set it for 1 5/8 inches, and make sure your cut is correct, and which it is. The next step is you're going to go to the next setting, a number 12 setting, bringing your cable into the tool approximately 3/4 inch, keeping the tool square. You're going to strip the outer braid off the cable. At this point, any loose strands, go ahead and trim it up at the 3/4 inch mark. At this point, you want to take your braid wire and fold it back onto the jacket. Now you want to take your Strip Master tool with the number 12 setting and go all the way back to the very back of the where you have your braid lapped over the jacket, and you're going to keep it square and perpendicular, and then take off your foil. At this point, you want to go to your number 16 setting, bring in your tool in approximately 3/8 inch, and you're going to strip. Now, when I'm stripping this, I'm controlling the retraction of the tool to make sure that the dielectric material stays intact. I want to keep this intact to the next steps. The next step is to take your outer ferrule, small end first, and slide it onto the cable. The next step is you're going to take your UHF coupling ring, square shoulder first, and slide the square shoulder onto the cable. The next step, you want to make sure that this UHF coupling ring does not go behind your outer ferrule, so you want to keep it in front of the outer ferrule. Holding the cable at the 12 o'clock position, you're going to remove your dielectric material. you are going to get your main plug body and slide it onto the cable. It will just, gravity will make it fall directly down onto the cable. At this point, you're going to be crimping this landing right here using your cycling crimp tool at the 0.68 setting. So you want to open up your tool. You want to lay this landing right here in the radius of the 0.68. It'll fit perfectly in there, and you will crimp. As you can see, it's a hexagonal crimp. After you complete the crimp on the inner conductor, you want to do a tug test where you pull on the connector to see if you can take it off the inner conductor. At this point, you want to go ahead and bring up your UHF coupling ring onto the connection. Now you want to take your outer braid and fold it up toward the front of the connection. Taking your outer ferrule, you're going to bring your outer ferrule up and over the connection. Now, if you have some wires that are long, you can actually trim those before this step, and then bring your outer ferrule up, butting the plug body. The next step is we're going to be crimping this landing with the 255 die. We want to make sure our tool is butting the shoulder. So we put the connection in the 255, butting the shoulder, and crimp. As you can see, we have a hexagonal crimp. At this point, we can go ahead and trim the inner conductor. I typically use about 1/32 of an inch ahead of the connector when I remove that. Now, you want to use our installation and continuity testing procedure outlined in our manual and or our videotape, where we check from the outer ground to the inner conductor on an ohm scale, and that reading should read 10 megohm.